I will explain it later, no? The surprises of SMO, not always nice for journalists. Okay, I will state this is the homepage of El Pais. In the left side, I highlighted, this has to do something with the question that Dan made before. What about relying all our tools in other companies, no? I think we can speak later, as you said, in the questions and answers, no? Because at El Pais, we built it 2 years ago, our own social network. Of course, not trying to compete with Twitter or Facebook, but trying to have all the data of our users. And, well, I can explain later our experience, no? Well, over the last 12 years, I've been working in online journalism, in big newsrooms, but also in a news startup, well, that sadly died. Well, just 1 week after we were awarded here in the United States in 2007. And I have to confess one thing. I never paid attention to SEO, never in my life. I never hired a person for SEO in that startup. And the person in charge at El Pais in SEO, he sits next to the IT team in another floor completely different than to the newsroom. Of course, I know the engineers, they are doing their job as good as they can. So I rely on them that people will find our stories all over the website. And of course, Spain is not, like here in the United States, Google News is not so important. It doesn't have a very big influence in our content, no? And well, and I'm probably mistaken, although many people, they are permanently working with the SEO. But I never wanted to play in that competition where everyone tries to put the same title for Google. No? And of course, there's another point that I think in a newsroom and in a traditional newsroom, if you are playing that game the whole time, well, if you have some reputation, you will be destroyed very, very fast. No? Well, a complete different thing is the SMO. No? I find it really journalistic, really exciting, easy to sell to journalists, and in the same way I said before that the guy that is working in the SEO in El Pais newsroom, he doesn't sit near the newsroom. The people that sit that work in the in social media optimization, they are sitting in the main place in the newsroom. They are sitting just to the editor-in-chief of the newsroom. So for us, it's very important, and we are experimenting the whole day. Journalists, they love sharing news, and they love selling themselves. We love selling ourselves in social media. Well, but the truth is that SMO is not that simple, and it doesn't work all the time as we would like. No? Frequently, the control of our news, we lose it. I think we have lost the control. Now I'm going to explain what is the Lazarus effect. Okay, this is our page of the most viewed stories at El Pais. It will make sense later. Okay. This is November the 28th, 2011. This was just 1 week afterwards the general elections in Spain. And this perhaps it already happened in your newsrooms, but at El Pais it was really, really controversial what it happened, but not only at El Pais. It was very controversial with our politicians and in the public opinion in Spain. As I told you, this is just 8 days after the general elections. The government had just changed from the Socialist Party that was governing. The Conservatives, the Popular Party, they won the elections. And 8 days later, one morning, we found at El Pais that the most viewed story was this one. The Popular Party brings to the Senate an expert that says homosexuality is an illness. Well, that was the main story of the website in that box of the most viewed stories. Okay, but what particularity had this story? What didn't fit in this story? Well, the article was written 6 years before. It was the 21st of June of 2005. Well, at that time, there was a great debate in Spain about gay marriage and adoption. The Socialist Party approved a law permitting gay marriage, and the Popular Party decided to challenge the law in the Constitutional Tribunal. Well, now 7 years later, we are still waiting for the decision. Okay, and this is what it happened. This is during 72 hours. That article, it was the most read article at El Pais. Well, probably I think in all Spanish language websites, because of the I think it was around 300,000 people went inside that news during those 72 hours, and it was the Facebook effect. No, it was not Twitter. Well, we all journalists, we are always in Twitter, but the real boom of it makes it the real difference. It makes it Facebook. I'm sorry, the quality is not so good. No, you can see we have like 130,000 recommendations in Facebook, and at the at the top is that, and that was like 72 hours more or less. No. Well, we were very criticized by politicians and also in the social networks. Many people, they thought that we were manipulating, that because El País is a more left-wing newspaper, they thought we were using this news to harm the Popular Party that had just won the elections. So what we decided, of course, is explain it. Explain it. No, I think this is one of the most important things you should do. No, being transparent with your information. No. So what we decided to do? Well, first of all, we didn't remove it, the article. Even we didn't remove it from the box of the most viewed. No, we had a lot of pressure. I remember in those days inside the newsroom, take it away from there, take it away, take it away. We decided not to do it. And we explain it inside the article. There. It says, this news was published in 2005. Virality made it the most viewed article in the web. And at the same time, we set our expert in audience, our analyst, to write a story in his blog about what was happening. And he said, well, not so long ago, we had similar situations through Google. Those times have gone by, and users have the power. 80% of the audience came from social networks, mostly through Facebook, and the 20% they came through the box of the most viewed article. The day afterwards, another blogger of El País, that she was the one that named the effect. She called it the Lazarus effect in a blog we have on El País. It's called Trending Topics. And it was not the first time that this happened in the last months. With two other articles, it happened the same thing, not so controversial as the other one. No, it had a political component, but it happened 2 times. No? And she tried to explain what was happening. And here I'm going to read something she wrote about, and she said, researchers at the University of Pennsylvania have studied the list of the most sent articles of the New York Times and reached to the conclusion that the common point of them are emotions. Emotions provoke actions, and you make the effort to share. Well, this was the case. No? The emotions that gay marriage was provoking in Spain, and the emotions of the government change in the 20th of November. Well, here you can see some of the statistics of how it's growing at El País, or people that are coming through social networks. Of course, Facebook is the one that is much bigger than Twitter, near the double. But Twitter is growing a little bit more than Facebook. How users land in the site. For El País, still our brand is so important. So important, you can see that more than 50% of the persons come through our homepage, or they write El País in Google. And this is how this is the average of the last 12 months. We have like nearly 6% of people coming through social networks to El Pais. No, well, after that story, no, well, I took 4 lessons of this Lazarus effect. No, one is the enormous possibilities of social media. No, this is great, and it's here to stay. The second one is that we have to accept we lost the control of our news. The third one, be transparent with your audience. Well, this is very important. And the fourth, charge for your archive because people love it. Okay, thank you.
And our final speaker is Jen Reeves, and you're on.
How does this work? Forward?
Yes.
We can hope. All right. Okay. Hi. Here we are. I didn't title it. I didn't want to be too specific because I'm here to give you some I'm going to kind of preach a little. I'm going to give you some heart. Not going to crowdsource. We already did that. Okay, so Monday was Foursquare Day. Did you know that? So I have a Foursquare party in my town every year because I love Foursquare. I have a problem. So a friend walks up to me and she gives me these rings. I'm wearing them. And she said that she got them and thought of me because this was really very much how I feel and how I live as a journalist. And so I'm here to tell you why I believe social media is how I'm able to build hope, inspire change, and give back as a journalist. I, as a journalist, got into this business because I care. I know, isn't that ridiculous? I know. I have to. They don't pay me enough any other way. So I love telling stories, and I love helping my community connect. I'm in the news business when it comes to broadcast. Shh, it's not bad. Broadcast is awesome because I feel like I have a true connection with an audience. It's a huge audience. And I've been doing regional news for the majority of my career. And when you're a part of a market, you are more intrinsically involved just by being there. Viewers think you are a part of their house because you're in that television set. For years, we just spoke and you were a connection, just because we spoke. That's powerful. And I, as a producer, I like to be behind the scenes, I like being in charge. And so I liked explaining to my journalists how to reach out, connect to the market, and learn what was important. Back in the day, that was a lot harder than it is now. If we really want to connect, if we really want to inspire, if we really want to help the market be a part of the community, and that can be whatever level of community you want it to be, we have to learn and take advantage of all of the tools that allow us to listen and connect. And for broadcast, my newsroom's a little different. Let me tell you about it. I am a professor at the Missouri School of Journalism. I am also the interactive director at the NBC affiliate, which happens to be owned by the University of Missouri. Faculty are the managers of the newsroom. I say grown-ups run the rest of the program. The whole newsroom is staffed by students. Other than the managers, we have full-time grown-ups as anchors. We have the standard sales department, production, promotion. Our students are the content creators and the producers of our newscasts. We are real, but we also have an unreal opportunity to push the limits of journalism. Because in most newsrooms I've worked at, you don't have the opportunities to come to a conference like this. We don't have the opportunity to meet with people in the industry on such a regular basis. And I'll be honest, I don't think I could have been in any other newsroom that lets me just think. And, I mean, it just doesn't happen that often. happens a lot for me, and I feel very lucky that I was able to make the job that I have, and I feel lucky that I have the opportunity to think about newsrooms differently. So in our newsroom, our students help me run the assignment desk, and people who run the assignment desk also help manage our online and social. It's blended together. All of our journalists are expected to use Twitter, and I'll tell you why. I love Twitter, but it's not because I love Twitter. I love its simplicity and ease of delivery. And with young journalists, I want them to use it so well that when something happens, they don't have to think about it. They know they need to deliver. And so on a daily basis, when they're going out and reporting, I expect ongoing reports. Not because I want Twitter to get bombarded with information from my journalists, it's because I want them to get good at it. And so the more they do it, the more natural it becomes. And so when that building explodes or that huge storm comes, they already naturally know how to deliver. We also have a web-first mentality. And when it becomes web-first, they are learning that once it's online, then we can share. And our market has a lot of social when you consider it's pretty small. So we had these massive, I don't know if you see in the background, we have massive monitors. They're humongous. And one of them has Chartbeat on it. And I spend a lot of time, we don't talk about SEO specifically, other than we do talk about headlines. We do talk about meta tags. But what I really want them to talk about is, once they have a product, they should help share it. And our assignment desk is also the distributor. Our journalists are distributors, and we talk about sharing and links. And this was a really good day. Chartbeat just changed its format, so I'll have to have a new goal. Our goal is get rid of the orange, because the orange are direct, people who come to the site directly. This was a really good day. It's a really bad story that led to it, but it was a good day. Social driving, sharing, and links, and the relationship that we have with our news consumers sharing along the social world. So then we thought, hey, let's get really creative. Oprah's going away, so we've got a new show. We could do a new show. So our general manager said, all right, you know, you've been really good at this whole social blending with on-air and online. We had a fabulous snowstorm that allowed our market to get super bored and have nothing to do but take pictures and share video. And for 3 days, we had the greatest experience of live sharing of photos and video. And we showed that we had a really interactive market, or so we thought. So Oprah goes away. We launch a new show. And it was completely based on social. We interacted live. We brought in people where we have a cyber couch using a Google Hangout. Every show has a group of people. We broadcast our behind the scenes live, and we take people inside the Hangout live in the show. It has garnered incredible international reaction. It garnered incredible national reaction. Our market looked at us like we were crazy. And that's the reality of social. Social and consumers, for us, come to us when they need to, but the rest of the time they consume our product online. To blend social to a very traditional broadcast, we have learned we have to scale it down. So as of Monday, our extraordinarily social show is about to become a calmer social show. It's a lesson that we're learning, and I feel extraordinarily lucky to be in a newsroom and in an environment where I can help test and push limits of journalism in its traditional format so that everyone else can see it and learn from it. It's to give a little hope, to inspire change. What we learned is our sales department didn't innovate while our newsroom innovated as far as we could take it. And our sales didn't make the money they wanted with a non-traditional show. It's reality. It's an election year. And I think it's a great lesson to show us that no matter how much we are reaching our social communities, we haven't quite found it in our traditional money-making formats. And unless we get really creative and have a little more fear in our sales departments, and for broadcast, there's not a lot of fear yet. There's fear on the news side. It's not fear, really. So we're going back to something more traditional. I want to give back. I have so many people, especially in the broadcast world, that come to me and say, oh my gosh, what do we do? What do we do? Well, I have a few things I want to give back. Flexibility. It's really hard to start something big and then be flexible to change it. But we've changed this show since September again and again, and we're going to keep changing it so we can find a better way to make our money but continue to be social. We are passionate about listening to our market and not just sales. And that's a challenge. And for the journalist in me, I don't care how much money we make because I want to listen to my market and be a part of it. And no matter what you do as a journalist, you need to listen. And every market does the talking differently on social and in person. I hold meetups all the time so I can just hang out with people in my market just to know them face to face. And I have a lot of people that say, Jen, thanks for fighting the good fight. This isn't a fight. If I give you anything, this is not a fight. We will show everyone else in the other parts of the buildings, of our traditional environments, that we are trying hard. We will continue to work hard. We're not fighting for a change. It's going to change. So as long as we stay positive, it's going to continue to be a positive experience. And anger is never going to help us. So if I can give back, I say, let's keep working hard, have fun, and it's never a fight.